source of everyone and everything. So that knowledge, that realization, how we can have, as I said before, we can see the Creator in His creation. If you want to know how the mother and father is, if you see their children, they are the reflection of mother and father. Yes or no? So very important. Uh, the sons and the daughters should give a proper representation. Okay, so we will begin with invocation, prayers, so that the Supreme Lord gives us the uh, knowledge, the empowerment to receive this transcendental knowledge. You have this paper with you, which has these prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovisham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kranta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. After hearing the first 9 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is so inspired. He is so spiritually surcharged that he expresses his heart by saying in the 18th verse that, O Janardana, again please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. So this is one who has developed the spiritual taste, the higher taste. Otherwise, in this material world, we invite so many people to come and hear about Krishna, they don't want to hear. They want to hear the material sound. They don't want to connect to the spiritual sound. And Krishna is very kind and he says that, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, because they are unlimited. So he began to speak from the verse number 28th. And in the 20th, he said that I am the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the heart of all beings. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all human beings. And then he says that amongst all the sons of Aditi, among the demigods, I am Vishnu. And Among all the luminaires, I am the radiant sun. And among all the Maruts, I am Marich. And amongst the stars, I am Moon. And we also discussed the 22nd verse last time. That Vedanam Samavedosmi. Of the Vedas, I am Samaved. Samveda, the Vedas which are the Vedas of music. And I am among the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. And of the senses, I am the mind, because the senses are uh, inactive unless and until they are commanded by the mind. So the senses were under the control and command of the mind. And of the living beings, I am the living force consciousness. Okay, we'll go ahead. This is verse number 23rd. You were there? 23rd. Rudranam Sankarashchashmi Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam Vasunam Pavakaschasmi Meru Shikari Namaham Rudranam Sankarashchasmi Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam Vasunam Pavakaschasmi Meru Shikari Namaham. Recite. Rudranam Sankarashchasmi Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam Vasunam Pavakaschasmi Meru Shikari Namaham.
Rudranam Shankarashchasmi
Rudranam Sankarashchasmi
Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam
Vittesha Yaksha Rakshasam
Asunam Pavakaschasmi
Vasunam Pavakaschasmi
Meru Shikari Namaham
Meru Shikari Namaham. Was that?
Rudranam Shankarashchasmi
Rudranam Sankarashchasmi
Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam
Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam Vasunam Pavakaschasmi
Meru Shikamarina Aham
Meru Shikari Namaham. So here Krishna is revealing that amongst all the Rudras, Rudranam Sankarashchasmi. We discussed that there are many Vishnus. Vishnus were also how many? 3. And Rudras are how many? 11. So amongst those Rudras, the prominent one is Shankara, Lord Shiva. So amongst the Rudras, he is the Shiva. And Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasa. Vitta means money. Yes, Vitta. Vitta Mantri. Oh, what he manages?
Finance.
Finance. Money. Very good. And Isha means the controller. So Vittesha, one who controls the finance, it's called CFO. Chief Financial Officer or Chief Financial Controller, CFC. Who is that? Amongst the Yaksha and Rakshana is Kubera. Kubera is the treasurer, the demigod of the demigod. And Vasuna Pavakaschasmi. So there are 8 Vasus. We will discuss that. And amongst the 8 Vasus, the prominent one Krishna says is Pavaka. Pavaka means fire. He says, I am. And among the Shikhari Nam means Shikhari Nam is that is highly raised, that has big heights. So what has big heights? The mountains. So amongst the mountain, Krishna says, I am Meru. Okay. So Rudra now, Shankarashtasmi. Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth, Kubera. Of the Vasus, I am fire Agni. And of mountains, I am Meru. Of all the, okay, purport, there are 11 Rudras, of whom Shankara, Lord Shiva, is prominent. So I'll tell you, in one of the purports of Bhagavatam, this is mentioned. Who are these Rudras? 11 Rudras. This is in 6.6.17. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the lineage is given. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke very briefly. He just gave the principles, and those principles are expanded in Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita is just 700 verses, and Srimad Bhagavatam is, huh? From where did 11,000 come from? Rudra. Where did 11,000 come from? How many verses are there in Srimad Bhagavatam? Huh? Huh?
16,000. 1400.
Don't speculate. You won't reach the right answer. If you know, if you have heard or read, then only you can say. You have already tried. This is not work. In spiritual affairs, this kind of fluke never works. Fluke never works. It is 18,000. 18,000 verses are there. And in that the lineage is given. Lord Shiva married Daksha's daughter, Dakshayani, or she is also known as Gauri or Parvati. Yeah. So in that lineage it is mentioned that Sarupa, the wife of Bhuta, gave birth to 10 million Rudras. How many Rudras are there? 10 million. Of whom 11 principal Rudras. And out of those 11, the most prominent one is Lord Shiva. So who are these 11 principal Rudras? They are Raivat, Aja, Bhava, Bhima, Vama, Ugra, Vrishakapi, Ajay Kapat, Ahir Brandana, Bahurupa, and Maha. And their associates are the ghosts and the hobgoblins, who are very fearful, who were born on the other wife of Bhuta. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita also much details are mentioned. Some more details are there. I'll share with you. Oh, 6, 7. There are 11 expansions of Rudra or Lord Shiva. I've already mentioned the names. Besides this expansion, there are 8 forms of Rudra called earth, water, fire, air, sky, sun, the moon, and the Somyaji. This will come here. Vasunam Pavukashchashmi. What are the Vasus? The Vasus are the 5 elements plus 3 more. What are the 3 more? sun, moon, and sun, moon, and the stars. Sun, moon, and the stars. Okay. And then he says that Vitteshu Yaksha Rakshasam. So, who is Kuvera? Kuvera, as I said, he is the treasurer. He is the one who arranges the finance. I mean, how much riches are there, how much opulence is there in the heavenly planets. We cannot estimate.
Was also the brother of Ravana.
Yes, he is. Not was, he is. A very interesting story. You want to know? Ramayana is coming? Huh? See, Lanka, this island of gold, it was originally designed and constructed by the demigod called Vishwakarma. And for whom is what intended? It was intended for Shiva and Parvati. But one sage came and he asked Lord Shiva Dakshina. No. An ascetic will come, they will what they will ask? Bhiksha. Bhiksham Dehi. This is what Ravana did when he came to kidnap Mother Sita. Bhiksham Dehi. And what he begged, he said that you give me Lanka. And Lord Shiva is very renounced. He is the personification of renunciation. He verily gave him the entire Lanka. And both he and Parvati again went to Kailash without house. And then later, in due course of time, there was this demon whose name was Sumali. Going back, there is lineage from Heti and Praheti, the two demons, very powerful demons. And in their lineage came these three brothers. And they performed a lot of austerities. And from Brahmaji, they received this tract of land. Sumali received it, and he had two brothers, Malyavan and Mali. When you saw, how many of you saw the Ramayana series? So Malyavan, one character was there. So Somali's two brothers, they also became very powerful. And the demon, what is the difference between divine and demonic? As you see one demonic person in the world today, he has got power, what he will do? He will exploit. He will exploit. He will create disturbance in the entire world. So these two, Mali and his brother, they all started to attack the demigods in the heavenly planets. So much that Lord Vishnu had to come and rescue the demigods. And in the war, so Somali and Maldives, they all fled. They all left Lanka and they all fled. And then this land was given to, there was this king, there was this sage. There is this sage called Vishrava. He is the son of Pulasya Rishi. Pulasya is one of the 7 sons of Brahma. So he was a very saintly person, very austere, and he used to perform a lot of austerity, and he pleased the demigods. So the demigods gave him this island. Lord Brahma gave him the island of Lanka, also gave him Pushpak Viman. and he was there with his wife. Her name was Ilavida, and he had this son Kubera. So the father gave the uh, land, this Lanka, to Kubera, and Kubera was there. He was ruling, but Somali was very, very envious. And he was always thinking that this land belongs to him. It is only that because of Vishnu's intervention, he has been deprived of his land. So he thought that the demonic class of men, whenever they fight with the divine one, Lord Vishnu favors the divine and they get defeated. So he thought of a plan. He said he had one daughter named Kaikasi. And he said he trained Kakasi in such a way that he wanted to marry Kakasi to a great sage. And that was his plan to get the kingdom of Lanka back. He said, if my daughter, she has all the empowerment of a demoniac regime or the lineage, and if she has union with a ascetic, then that son that she will have, that son will be able to win over both the divine also and the demonic also. See what kind of thinking. Similar thinking. The president of America is having. And he told Kakasi to find a sage. So she was observing Vishrava, and one day when Vishrava was in a solitary trance, she approached and she begged Vishrava to give her a son. So he said, you cannot have a son like this. So she said, you please marry me. So in this way, she got married to Vishrava. And after her marriage, with her union with Vishrava, she begot three sons and one daughter. And so Kuber was the stepbrother of Ravana. And when he started to grow up and his demonic tendencies started to manifest, so when he started to trouble his brother, and he troubled so much, so one day Kuber came to his father Vishrava and said that my brother, younger brother, is troubling and torturing me so much. He wants to take the charge of Lanka and he wants to own the Pushpak Viman. So what should I do? And Vishrava knew that KK is demoniac and she has been trained by her father, Sumali, who is even more demonic. So he told Kuber to leave that place and give it to Ram. So that is how Ravan became in charge of Lanka. So actually he usurped. He forcefully took away the place of Lanka. So this is Kuber. So this is the history of Kuber. He is a saintly person and he was austere. He had the rightful claim of Lanka, but Ravana forcibly took away. Yeah.
I have a question. What happened later to Somali and Malyavan?
Malyavan remained in the kingdom. He was there. He was one of the advisor of Ravan. If you see Ramayana, his name is there. Mali was killed by, and so Mali also he would have become old and he would have died. So Malyavan was there. But the imprint of Somali was there in Ravan and Kumbhakarna. And the imprint of Vishrava was there in who?
Division.
Vibhishan. 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 Okay. So this is the lineage. So Krishna is saying it's very interesting that amongst the Vittesha Yaksha Rakshasam and Vasunam Pavakashtasmi. So amongst the five gross elements, all of them are purifying, you see. Anything impure, it comes in touch with water. What does water do? Clean it. What does fire do? Burn, purify it. If you want to have pure gold, what do you have to do? You have to heat it. Yeah. And so all of these five elements are purifying. But amongst the most purified is fire. So Krishna says, Vasunam Pavakashtasmi. And Meru Shikhari Namaham. So amongst all the mountains, the biggest or the highest or the stalwart of all the mountains is Meru mountain. We would have not seen Meru mountain. Anyone seen the Meru mountain? No. But it is mentioned that this Meru mountain, Sumeru mountain, you see Prabhupada's purport. Prabhupada says, there are 11 Rudras of which Shankara, Lord Shiva, is predominant. He is the incarnation of the Supreme Lord in charge of the mode of ignorance in the universe. So there are various types of incarnations. Among them, 6 are prominent. And among the 6, there is one avatar which is called the Guna avatar. Guna means those who are superintendent of the various modes. The superintendent of the mode of goodness is which incarnation? No. Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is for mode of goodness. For passion? Here. No. When you say Narayan, all of them are included. They are already included. Huh? Oh, no. Here, no? Was here. Mode of passion. Passion means creation. Brahma. I gave the answer. And mode of ignorance. See, Lord Shiva is not in ignorance. Please note that. Many people have many wrong conception. He is the superintendent of the mode of ignorance. That means those who cannot get shelter of Krishna and Brahma, who provide shelter? Shiva. Who are these? All the ghosts and the hobgoblins. Shiva gives them shelter. Yeah. So he is the in charge of the mode of ignorance in this universe. The leader of the Yakshas and Rakshasas is Kuvera. And you know, this entire creation is classified into 14 planetary systems. You know that. There are classifications, 7 are above Earth and 7 are below Earth. So among these 7 which are above Earth, there are 2 divisions. The earthly planet, it is called Bhurloka. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. And when you go up, then there is the Bhuvalok. Bhuvalok. Bhuvalok is what? No, it's not heaven. Heaven is Swarga. Heaven is Swarga. Here, na, don't interrupt. So in between there is the strata of where there is the Madhyam Sthan, or it is called the outer space. It is also called the outer space. And in this outer space, there are many, living entities who have higher positions than the humans. They are called the Yakshas, Gandharvas, and the Kim Purushas. They all reside. They are higher than this. And then if you even go higher, then there is Swargaloka. But even if you go higher, so these are all the 3 are within the influence of mode of passion. But above this passionate realm is the realm of the sages, where the sages reside. It starts from Maharlok. Maharlok, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, and the Brahmaloka. There the prominence of mode of goodness is there. Okay. And below the earthly planet also there are sevenfold realms. So there is Bilasvarga, that is called the underworld heaven. Yes. It is vast. I mean, it is unimaginable the details which are there. It is mind boggling. So it is Atal, Vital, Sutal, then Talatal, Rasatal, and Patal. But importantly, there are different classes of men who are living, the living entities. So among all these, I mean, there are so much details and so much classification. So Krishna is saying that he is the fourth prominent. So the leader of the Yakshas and Rakshasas is Kuvera, the master treasurer of the demigods. And he is the representation of Supreme Lord. Meru is a mountain famed for its rich natural resources. Meru is a mountain which is made up of solid gold. It is full solid gold. And its size is colossal. I mean, it is mind-boggling. It is in the center. It is in the middle of the Ilavat Varsha. And the Sumeri mountain, which is made of gold, and the mountain height is 100,000 yojanas or 800,000 miles. 800,000 miles. And out of that, 16,000 yojanas are within the earth, and the rest is beyond. So then that is why we cannot see. It is not in this planetary system. Therefore, the mountain height above the earth is 84,000 yojanas. And the mountain width is 32,000 yojanas or 256,000 miles. So this is Mount Meru. If Donald Trump comes to know about it, he says, I will own it. In one go, I will surpass the entire riches of the entire creation. Okay, we go next. Purodasam cha mukhyam mam Vidipartha Brihaspatam Senaninam Aham Skanda Sarasamasmi Sagara Purodhasam cha mukhyam mam Vidhipartha Brahaspatim Senaninam Aham Skanda Sarasamasmi Sagara. Recite. Those who did not recite the first verse, those who have already recited, please allow others to recite.
Purodhasam cha mukhyam mam Vidhi Partha Brahaspatim
Vidhipartha Brihaspatim Senaninam Aham Skanda Sarasamasmi Sagara. This time you should all attempt. Okay. So Purodhasa means those who are Purohit. Purohit, you understand? Priest, priestly class. So he says that amongst all the priests, those who are conducting the various sacrifices or various rituals. Among them, the chief is Brihaspati. Who is Brihaspati? Huh? Yeah, he is the spiritual master of the demigods. And then he says that Vidhi Partha, okay, Brihaspati. Purodasam cha mukhyama Vidhi Partha Brihaspati. Senani nam aham skanda. Senani means the chief, chief of the military force, the chief of military force. As Senani nam. Aham Skandaha. Skanda is Kartikeya. Kartikeya is the son of Shiva. Yeah. And Sarasam Asmi Sagara. Sarasam means amongst the reservoirs of water. Amongst the water bodies, I am the ocean. Of priest, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief, Brihaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya. And of bodies of water, I am the ocean. Indra is the chief demigod of the heavenly planet and is known as the king of the heavens. So please see, amongst all the uh, personalities or the manifestation, whoever is the prominent, so that prominence is because of Krishna. That representation is Krishna. So there are how many demigods? Millions and millions. You may do we know the names of them? Do we know their roles, their responsibilities, their functions? No. But everyone knows Indra. Yeah. So here Krishna is saying Indra is the chief demigod of the heavenly planet and is known as the king of the heavens. So that is why we see, even if Indra commits so many mistakes, so many blunders he commits, but still he has a special privilege. What is that privilege? He gets the favor of the Supreme Lord. Why? Because Lord has appointed him. If you appoint someone and you give him the responsibility, then what you have to do? You have to support him. We have to accept both. Some of it will be good qualities and some will be not so good. It cannot be that you will only accept good and you will kick him out. The planet on which he reigns is called Indralok. And Brahaspati is Indra's priest. And once what happened? That Indra offended Brahaspati. You know the good story? Huh? Indra, is a demigod who is very much inclined for uh, enjoyment and opulence. So in his kingdom, in his court, there was the musical consort, and he was very much absorbed in uh, enjoying it. And he did not notice that the chief priest Brihaspati came into the assembly. And he was busy, absorbed. And Brihaspati, when he saw that his disciple is not giving some, importance to him, he became very angry. And he cursed Indra to go to the earthly planet and become a pig. Cursed him. Go and become a pig. You are behaving like a pig. Pig is very much absorbed in eating stool. You see, it becomes fat by consuming stool. And then there is a story that when Narad Muni comes, he sees the abominable position of Indra and he says, what has happened to you? You have left the heavenly planet, such opulence, such royalty, and you are here in dirt. But in the pig body, what is the response of Indra? He says, I am enjoying it. What suffering? I am enjoying it. Narad Muni tells that you are, thrown in such an abominable place where the filth is there. It's such a good smell. I am enjoying this smell. And then there are so many she pigs with whom I am having sex. And there are my piglets. Where is this suffering? So this is the conditioning. In any species, the living entity goes. What he thinks, he can enjoy. What is enjoy? These four things are there, which is common in every species of life. What is that? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. He will have the same sex pleasure in the pig's body, what he will enjoy in the demigod's body. There is no difference. Or in eating. Prabhupada used to say this example, if you offer a pig the best of the prepared of halwa, and you also keep on one side stool, he will leave the halwa and he will select the stool. Because that is conditioned. So as compared to the demigods, this pleasure in this material world is the pleasure of a pig. It is so abominable. But we are thinking we can enjoy it. It is so good. There is so much of opportunity. Little bit of luck and little bit of more opportunity, I can enjoy this world. That is a pig mentality. So Brihaspati is Indra's priest, and since Indra is the chief of all kings, Brihaspati is the chief of all priests. And as Indra is the chief of all kings, similarly Skanda or Kartikeya, the son of Parvati, and Lord Shiva is the chief of all military commanders. There is always a conflict between the divine and the demoniac. The demoniac, they are always trying to forcibly take away the kingdom of heaven. So a powerful commander is required. That is Kartikeya. Before Kartikeya, who was the commander of the demigods? Huh? Rakshas. How can a commander of demigods be a Rakshasa? Huh? Bali? No. Again, don't give wild guesses. Shiva? No. No. Indra is the king. Yes. Indra is the king. You find out. I will not tell you. Find it. Fine. Instead of giving such wild guesses. The son of Parvati and Lord Shiva is the chief of all military commanders. And of all bodies of water, the ocean is the greatest. These representations of Krishna only give hints of his greatness. So why Krishna is giving this detail? Why he is elaborating here? So that we can know how great he is. And what will be the natural outcome of knowing his greatness? No, we will accept his authority. This is the first thing. Otherwise, the authority of us is with our mind. Our ultimate authority is our mind. Mind decides what we will do. When we know the greatness of Krishna, then we can accept the authority of Krishna. And when we can accept the authority of Krishna, then our spiritual life can begin. Our elevation can begin. We'll take the next verse also. Yeah. So what do you want? Should I stop here? Okay. We'll just begin. There are so many impediments. So many impediments. Okay, here, don't think about all that. Maharshinam Bhriguraham Girimasmi Ekam Aksharam Yajnanam Japa Yagyo Asmi Sthavananam Himalaya Maharshinam Bhriguraham Girimasmi Ekam Aksharam Yajnanam Japa Yagyo Asmi Sthavananam Himalaya. Say, all of you should get this phobia over. What is that?
Maharishinam Paripuram
Maharishinam Tripuraham
Ekam Aksharam
Giramasmi Ekmahaksharam
Jnanam Tapayagnosmi
Yajnanam Japayagyo Asmi
Savaranam Himalayam
Avaranam Himalaya. So, amongst the rishis, not just the rishis, the Maharishis, uh, those who are now very, very elevated class. He says, I am Bhrigu. Bhrigu is such a powerful sage that he has given the entire, what should I say, the detail of each and every living entity in his Bhrigu Samhita. Hmm. And Bhrigu is also one of the very prominent sage. Once amongst the sages and the demigods, there was a discussion. Yet who is the most prominent amongst the three demigods, Lord Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu? Who is the supreme? So how to find out? Huh?
Let's go and ask them.
Also, of course.
No, he kept it.
Wait here. So amongst the sages and the demigods, they selected Bhrigu. Bhrigu was very wise, very mature. So they selected Bhrigu to go and test all the three. And based on his findings, leave it. Chhod do. Leave it. Thank you. Based on his observation and finding, they will decide. So first, Bhrigu went to Brahmaji. And Brahmaji was embracing him. Why? Because he is a son. But he did not give any respect. So Brahma felt insulted. And Brahma, in a way, chastised him. And when Brahma started to chastise him, so he left. Because Brahma was infuriated with which mode? Passion. Passion. Brahma was infuriated with passion. He did not get respect. One of the features of those who are predominated by passion, if you give them little disrespect, it is worse than death. Kshatriyas. That is why Krishna spoke in the second chapter that avach vadamsta nindantastav samarthyam tato dukhtaram nokim. That there is no grief higher than the insult. So he felt insulted and he felt infuriated, and Bhrigu left. Then Bhrigu went to Kailash. And when Lord Shiva saw him, Lord Shiva was very happy that my brother has come. And he wanted to embrace, but Bhrigu rejected him. And Bhrigu said, don't touch me. Yeah. You are so abominable. You are so unclean. You are so impure. Your entire body is smeared with ashes. All these serpents and everything is there. Don't touch me. If you touch me, I have to go and take bath. You remain distance from me. And Shivji became very furious. He became so furious that he reached out to his trident and started to chase Bhrigu to kill him. It is Parvati who came in between and caught the feet of Lord Shiva. And somehow he escaped and ran from there. So, first was anger. Second was what? Wrath. When anger converts into wrath, it is most degraded. And finally, there was only one personality left. That was Vishnu. And when he reached Vaikuntha, what he saw? That Lord Vishnu was reclining on Anant Shesh and Lakshmi Devi was massaging his lotus feet. So, seeing the opulence, he became uh, very agitated. He did not, so when Lord Vishnu saw him, Lord Vishnu welcomed him. That we are very fortunate today that such a saintly person has come to our abode. Our abode has been purified. So he reached close to the place where Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu was reclining, and he immediately kicked his chest with full force. Lakshmi ji became angry, but not Lord Vishnu. He caught the lotus feet of Bhrigu and started to massage and said, "My heart is like a stone and your feet are soft like lotus. So my heart would have damaged your feet." Which motive was there? Mode of goodness. Mode of goodness, even if there is provocation, even if there is insult, the person is not disturbed. So then Bhrigu came back and he reported all the incidences. And then they decided that Vishnu is the supreme. Vishnu is the supreme. So amongst all these sages, the greatest of the sages is Bhrigu. Krishna says, "I am Bhrigu." And Girim of the vibrations, Asmi Ekaksharam. I am Pranava. That Krishna has already spoken in the 7th chapter also. Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. And very important, he says, Yajnanam Japa Yajyo Asmi. Yajna means amongst the sacrifices. Amongst the all forms and features of sacrifices, I am the Japa Yajna. He is not saying Kirtan Yajna. Which Yajna? Japa. This is where we want to avoid the most. We don't want to perform Japa Yajna. Krishna is owning this Yajna. That amongst all the sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. See how clearly and prominently it is mentioned. So, if we want to purify ourselves, what we have to do? We have to perform sacrifice. And which sacrifice? Clearly, Krishna is saying the sacrifice of chanting the Mahamantra, chanting of the holy names, Japa. And he says, Sthavaranam Asmi Himalaya. Sthavar and Jangam, there are two. Sthavar means which is fixed, and Jangam means which is moving. So, amongst all that is immovable, I am the Himalayas. Okay, just here. Brahma, the first living creature within the universe, created several suns for the propagation of various kind of species. Among these suns, Bhrigu is most powerful sage. Of the transcendental vibrations, Omkar represents Krishna. So Omkar is impersonal and Hare Krishna is personal manifestation. That is the difference. In Omkar, you don't get to see the form of the Supreme Person. It is impersonal. So which one is higher, you decide. There is no difference, but there is difference. Because if you chant Omkar, the highest elevation that you can reach is Brahmajyoti. But if you chant Hare Krishna, you have all possibility of reaching Krishna. So of all the transcendental vibrations, Omkar represents Krishna. Of all the sacrifices, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare is the purest representation of Krishna. This is the purest representation of Krishna. So instead of if we perform any other sacrifices, that is not the purest and the direct representation of Krishna. It is indirect. Even chanting Om is indirect. Sometimes animal sacrifices are recommended, but in the sacrifice of Hare Krishna, there is no question of violence. It is the simplest and purest. Whatever is sublime in the world is a representation of Krishna. Therefore, the Himalayas, the greatest mountains of the world, also represent him. The mountain named Meru was mentioned in the previous verse. But Meru is sometimes movable. This is another, uh, what I should say, conception, jinx. How can we think that the mountains can move? Mountains can fly. No, no, no. Who says? What have you seen? Have you seen Meru? Then how do you know? Meru is sometimes movable, whereas the Himalayas are never movable. Thus, the Himalayas are greater than Meru. Okay, one of the organizer is telling me that you stop, so I won't proceed. But let us have some discussion or question to have understanding of the greatness of Krishna, which is manifested or represented in these opulences. And very prominent, the most important amongst all what we have discussed so far, Krishna says, Yajnanam Japa Yajyo Asmi. So if we take to this recommendation of Krishna, three things Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita that one should never give up. What are these three things? Yajna, the activities of performing sacrifice. Then there is tapasya, austerity. And the third is charity, which is dana. Yajna, dana, tapa, karma, pavanani, manishina. It will purify even those who are manisha. Mana is the mind, and Isha is one who has controlled the mind. What about those who are under the control of mind? So how to control the mind? The powerful weapon is mantra, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because if we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then we connect to the spiritual platform. And it is Krishna who controls the mind, as Rishikesha. Jiva cannot control the mind. Mind is very powerful. So the sooner the better. Yeah, I told you. It is only not even 1/5 of it is in the earthly planet. The rest of it is in the hard planets.
How Meru was born?
How Meru was born?
Form.
Yeah, when the creation was done, Meru was there. I told you it is there. When you study Srimad Bhagavatam, creation is there. Not like the modern scientist. They have no clue of creation. What they say? Big Bang. By so there are so many bangs which are happening in Iraq and Israel, and so everything is getting created. They're so insane, such a foolish theory, and we say it is scientific. Not even a iota of common sense. With the bang, how can there be creation? How can order come from disorder? So creation is detailed. Krishna gave about the creation. Krishna has given about the creation here in Bhagavad Gita also, a synopsis of it. He says, Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu. How this manifestation comes. Okay, ask.
Why there, why are there no temples of Brahma?
It's a good question. Why there are no temples of Brahma? Because Brahma was cursed. There is one famous Pushkar. Pushkar is the one. But generally you don't see temples of Brahma. And Brahma has no desire of having, Brahma has many temples, you see. All these called temples. Who is our founder? We are coming in the lineage of Brahma ji. From Lord Brahma. There are 4 disciplic successions, bona fide 4 disciplic successions. Padam Puran it is mentioned. Then 4 disciplic successions, the first is coming from Lord Brahma. And the Acharya, the representative of Brahmaji, was selected by Brahmaji himself, is Sripad Madhvacharya. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the same disciplic succession. He accepted Sripad Ishwar Puri, who is coming in the same lineage. So ISKCON is also a branch in Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So all the temples of ISKCON, practically, who is the Acharya? Is Brahmaji. So if the devotee, he does not want himself to be worshipped. If you build a Hanuman temple and if you build a Ram temple, Hanumanji will be pleased by which? Ram temple. He will not be pleased by building a Hanuman temple. So Brahmaji has temples, but in those temples he is not being worshipped. The Supreme Lord is being worshipped. Lord Vishnu is being worshipped. Lord Krishna is being worshipped. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Mentioned reaching Brahma Jyoti, I didn't understand.
Yeah. See, there are, as currently we are in this state where the living entity is conditioned, or living entity is encaged. Where is the living entity encaged? In the subtle body. Mind, intelligence, and false ego. Like simple, I gave so many times example. If you want to run this mobile, what you need to have? You have to have a SIM. And in this SIM, there are so many programs, apps, they run the show. Are they visible? No. You see the gross. You don't see the inside mechanism. And so the soul is encased, or it is what is casing. It is encased in the subtle body. And when the soul gets liberated from the subtle body, it comes to realize that it is spiritual. Till the time it is conditioned, it will identify itself with matter, like we all do. Do we consider ourselves spiritual? No. If we don't get food 2 days, we will come to know where we are. What 2 days? 1 day, even for few hours. Yeah, because we are so much engrossed in the bodily conception of life. So when the jiva starts to spiritually elevate, he comes to the spiritual platform, which is called the transcendental platform. He transcends beyond body and the subtle body, and he comes to his proper understanding that he is not this body, he is soul. So that level of realization, it is called that it is on the spiritual platform. It's called a Brahman platform. Aham Brahmasmi. That I am not this matter, I am not this body, I am not even the subtle body. If we don't identify ourselves with the gross body, then we identify ourselves with mind, intelligence, or ego. If one can go beyond all this, then he comes to the Brahman platform. And Brahman platform basically is knowing that I am eternal. Body is temporary. It takes birth and it perishes. But the spirit is permanent. That is the Brahman platform. That is the spiritual platform. And the spiritual platform has 3 levels. Like you go in railways, it has 3 compartments. No? You have general, then you have first class, and then you have sleeper, and then first class. Unreserved, reserved, and first class. So the Brahman platform is the first platform where only the eternal feature is realized. That is what. So the aspiration of the practitioner is to come to this stage that I am eternal. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. You've heard? Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. So that is the reach. And what is the aspiration? That they want to live in this eternal existence. But they do not have much spiritual understanding or details. Their aspiration is to remain out of the material platform and remain in the spiritual eternal platform. So that is the Brahman platform, it is the Brahmajyoti, which is the spiritual effulgence of the Supreme Lord. So they elevate when they leave this body, they go out of this material world and they go to the Brahmajyoti, which is the spiritual realm. But there is not much spiritual manifestation. It is formless, like those who are practitioners of Pranava Om. So their practice where they can reach is up to Brahmajyoti. These are called the Gyanis, the empiricist. And then higher than that are those practitioners who realize the Supreme in the form of Super Soul. They're called yogis. Their aspiration is to have the realization of the Super Soul. They're called yogis. So they have realized the eternal feature, which is Sat, and they also have knowledge of the Supreme Soul. So there is some relationship. In the first level, there is no relationship. He says that I am also Brahman. So then what they say, we are the same. The Supreme and the living entity both are same. It is not the same. It cannot be the same. What happened? Stay here. Didi is there. You can see here. Handshake. So that is higher than the Brahman stage, which is the realization of the super soul. So the other feature is also realized. That is, knowledge is there. Knowledge about the living entity is there. Knowledge about the super soul is also there. And there is some connection. In the first one, there is no connection. The second one, there is connection. That is higher stage, which is the yogis. They can see the Supreme Lord in their heart. Or they want to meditate. They want to reach the super soul. But the highest level is the level when one fosters the relationship is there and he has exchange in the relationship. In the Paramatma picture, there is no exchange. Paramatma is there. You see the Paramatma is there in the heart. He is standing. You see this page? 15.15. He is as if neutral. Yes. He is there in everyone's heart. So the yogi can only see that Paramatma is there in everyone's heart. But there is no exchange. There is no reciprocation. When are we most satisfied? When someone, serves us or someone appreciates us or there is some exchange with one living entity and the other. That is called rasa. Exchange, mellow. So Krishna says that I am seated in everyone's heart. From me come remembrance, knowledge. Okay, so is and the third level is the Bhagwan feature, where the Supreme Lord is realized in his personal feature. As a friend, as a master, as a parent, or as a son, or as a lover. So that is the most intimate exchange. That is what the living entity, the soul is searching. Is to have loving exchange with the Supreme Lord. That is the Bhagwan feature. And those who are devotees, they are called bhaktas. That is Ananda. What the Jiva is searching for is not just searching for Sat and Chit. He will not be satisfied. He will be partially satisfied. Because what he is searching for is that Divya Ananda, that bliss. That is there when there is relationship, and relationship is fostered by service. How service begins? By chanting Hare Krishna. By chanting Hare Krishna, we are making a submission to Krishna that yes, I want to serve you. If there is no desire to serve, why he will allow us to come there? What is the purpose? We will go there and create disturbance. Others are serving, we will ask them why you are doing this. Huh? They will not be allowed. They will not get access. So this is the highest level of realization, of perfection. This is the Bhagwan relation. Okay, I will have to stop because somehow I reached my time, which is 9. Okay. Krishna is in control. The watchman is not in control. So thank you very much. So please realize, we are a small group here, very small group, and we are having such close uh, opportunity to study Bhagavad Gita. And from Bhagavad Gita to churn, I'm going very slow. I could cover when I teach Bhakti Shastri, in 2 classes, I will cover the entire chapter. But here I am just covering 2 verses and trying to give, the insight of these verses so that we have clarity and conviction. To the extent we have clarity and conviction, we will accept and apply. Then we can have the full advantage of it. Okay, thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari. So you are aware that we are going to Vrindavan on 12th. There was 12th because, finally there was no program. You said 15th, you said 16th, and some said some other day. We have decided we are going, there is a program there. So those who want to join us can come. You can reach Dr. Dolamani and tell him. We are going on 12th, which is Sunday, and we are coming back on 14th evening, which is also a holiday, which is Ambedkar Jayanti. That will be a national holiday. So you will have to just miss one day in between. That is what it is. To gain something, you have to give up something. There cannot be gain without some pain. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.